Anxiety is an intricate emotional response characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, and physical changes. It is a natural reaction to stress, uncertainty, past trauma, and other types of general symptoms. However, when anxiety becomes chronic or overwhelming, it can lead to significant distress and impairment. I plan to discuss the psychology of anxiety, its historical context, its effect on mental health, and coping mechanisms to mitigate anxiety and panic attacks. Mental health is not static, nor is it homogeneous. It's higher in some communities versus others. Studies have shown that roughly 1 in 4 adults in the US experiences a mental health disorder. On a personal note, I have battled and am still battling with anxiety. This has occurred for at least the past 10 years of my life. For me, the anxiety creeps in due to certain situations and sometimes develops into panic. It became so bad that it was actually affecting my daily life. Thankfully, I have learned to cope with these episodes using some coping mechanisms which I will discuss in this video, and I take prescribed meds from my doctor. If you are experiencing anxiety and panic attacks on a frequent basis, I recommend consulting with your doctor about how to address your situation. The first step to coping with this is to accept and admit that you're experiencing anxiety. Welcome back to Student of the Brain, or if this is your first time visiting, welcome. My goal is to provide honest discussion on psychology, the human brain, human behavior, and all things in between. Although I am not a psychologist, I try my best to provide accurate information, and I've provided references below. Please enjoy the vid, like, subscribe, and share. Let's get started. The understanding of anxiety has evolved significantly over time. In ancient times, anxiety was often viewed through a spiritual or supernatural lens. The Greeks, for example, associated anxiety with the gods and the concept of fate. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, recognized anxiety as a medical condition and described it as an imbalance of bodily fluids, or, quote, humors. During the Middle Ages, anxiety was often interpreted as a sign of demonic possession or moral failing. Treatments were largely religious in nature, involving prayer, exorcism, and other spiritual interventions. The Enlightenment period brought a shift toward a more scientific understanding of anxiety, with philosophers and early psychologists exploring its psychological roots. In the 19th century, Sigmund Freud significantly advanced the understanding of anxiety by linking it to unconscious conflicts and repressed emotions. Freud's psychoanalytic theory posited that anxiety was a result of unresolved internal conflicts between different parts of the psyche. This theory laid the groundwork for modern psychodynamic approaches to anxiety. The 20th century saw the development of various psychological theories and treatments for anxiety. Behavioral and cognitive behavioral theories emerged, focusing on the role of learned behaviors and thought patterns in the development and maintenance of anxiety. The advent of pharmacological treatments, such as benzodiazepines and selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, provided new options for managing anxiety symptoms. Anxiety is characterized by a range of psychological and physiological responses. Psychologically, anxiety involves persistent worry, fear, and apprehension about potential future threats. These thoughts are often irrational and disproportionate to the actual threat. Physiologically, anxiety triggers the body's fight or flight response, leading to symptoms such as increased heart rate, sweating, trembling, and muscle tension. Several psychological theories explain the development and maintenance of anxiety. The biological perspective emphasizes the role of genetic and neurobiological factors in anxiety. Research has shown that anxiety disorders often run in families, suggesting a genetic predisposition. Neuroimaging studies have identified specific brain regions, such as the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, that are involved in the regulation of fear and anxiety. The behavioral perspective focuses on the role of learning and conditioning in anxiety. According to classical conditioning, anxiety can develop through the association of a neural stimulus with a frightening event. Operant conditioning explains how avoidance behavior can be reinforced, perpetuating anxiety by preventing individuals from confronting and overcoming their fears. The cognitive perspective emphasizes the role of thought patterns in anxiety. Aaron Beck's cognitive theory of anxiety posits that individuals with anxiety have distorted and negative thinking patterns, such as catastrophizing and overestimating the likelihood of danger. These cognitive distortions contribute to the maintenance of anxiety. The psychodynamic perspective, which builds on Freud's work, suggests that anxiety arises from unconscious conflicts and unresolved emotional issues. According to this perspective, individuals may experience anxiety when repressed thoughts and feelings threaten to surface into conscious awareness. Anxiety can have profound effects on an individual's mental health and overall well-being. Chronic anxiety is associated with a range of mental health disorders. Generalized anxiety disorder is characterized by excessive and uncontrollable worry about various aspects of life. It can lead to significant distress and impairment in daily functioning. Panic disorder is when an individual experiences recurrent and unexpected panic attacks, which are intense episodes of fear accompanied by physical symptoms such as chest pain, shortness of breath, and dizziness. This fear of having another panic attack can lead to avoidance behavior and agoraphobia. Social anxiety disorder involves an intense fear of social situations and being judged by others. It can lead to significant social isolation and difficulties in academic, occupational, and personal relationships. Obsessive-compulsive disorder is characterized by intrusive and distressing thoughts or obsessions and repetitive behaviors or mental acts, compulsions, performed to alleviate anxiety. This disorder can be highly debilitating and time-consuming. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, can develop after exposure to a traumatic event. Symptoms include intrusive memories, hypervigilance, and avoidance of reminders of the trauma. Anxiety is a core component of PTSD. Anxiety also affects physical health. Chronic anxiety is linked to various physical health problems, such as cardiovascular disease, gastrointestinal issues, and a weakened immune function. Additionally, anxiety can impair sleep, leading to insomnia and other sleep disorders. Managing anxiety involves a combination of psychological, behavioral, and lifestyle strategies. Several evidence-based approaches have been shown to be effective in reducing anxiety and preventing panic attacks. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a widely used and effective treatment for anxiety disorders. It involves identifying and challenging irrational thoughts and beliefs, developing coping skills, and gradually facing feared situations through exposure therapy. It also helps individuals reframe negative thinking patterns and build resilience. Mindfulness and meditation teaches individuals to focus on the present moment and develop a non-judgmental awareness of their thoughts and feelings. Mindfulness practices can reduce anxiety by promoting relaxation and reducing rumination. Pharmacotherapy utilizes medications such as SSRIs, serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors, or SNRIs, and benzodiazepines. These meds can be effective in managing anxiety symptoms. They also work by altering neurotransmitter activity in the brain. However, they are typically used in conjunction with psychotherapy for optimal results. Lifestyle modifications, such as a balanced diet and adequate sleep, are essential for managing anxiety. Exercise has been shown to reduce anxiety by increasing the production of and promoting overall well-being. Avoiding caffeine and alcohol can also help reduce anxiety symptoms. Relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and guided imagery, can help reduce psychological arousal and promote relaxation. These techniques are particularly useful for managing acute anxiety and panic attacks. Utilizing social support in a network of family, friends, and mental health professionals can provide emotional support and practical assistance. Support groups and therapy can also offer a sense of community and shared understanding. Developing effective stress management skills is crucial for preventing and managing anxiety. Time management, Setting realistic goals and practicing self-care are important strategies for reducing stress. For individuals with specific phobias or PTSD, exposure therapy can be highly effective. This involves gradually and systematically exposing the individual to the feared object or situation in a controlled manner, allowing them to build tolerance and reduce fear. Anxiety and panic is something that touches close to home for me and some of my family members. If you are suffering from these types of disorders, I encourage you to seek medical help. It'll pay off in the long run, and it'll help you live a healthier lifestyle. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these types of vids, like, subscribe, and share to help grow my channel. Stay strong and healthy. Much love.